So when I tell people that I live on 1,000 USD a month or 1,360 Canadian, it just blows their mind and they refuse to believe it because it's so far outside their belief system and their what they perceive as normal.
As rent and property values continue to skyrocket, while the construction of new residential buildings surge in places like downtown Montreal, an American turned Quebecer decided to move to the province to take advantage of the lower cost of living. Grigory Lukin says he managed to save enough money to retire at 34 years old and spends $1,300 a month to live in Quebec City.
All I need to be happy is a quiet place with hot water and internet, no roommates ever again. And I worked backwards, and then I managed to pare down my budget to something that most people just think is ridiculous.
It started with his location. Lukin went from living in Seattle and working for Amazon to requesting a transfer to Toronto as he was inspired by the book called The 4-Hour Workweek, which speaks about geographic arbitrage.
It's essentially when you move someplace in the world that is much cheaper but has the same standard of living. For example, the rental apartments here in Quebec City are infinitely cheaper than they are in Toronto or Vancouver.
Lukin decided to make the jump to Quebec not only for his appreciation of the French culture, but also the low rents.
Compared a lot of data, because I used to work as an analyst, and the cheapest rent in Canada is in the province of Quebec. And in the province of Quebec, the two cheapest cities are Sherbrooke and Quebec City.
He's opted for Quebec City in a one-bedroom apartment, which in Montreal would rent for, on average, $1,800 a month.
It's a brick building in a nice part of town and within walking distance of all the fun places. So altogether, it comes out to roughly $734 a month for everything. And so when I lived in Toronto, that would have been impossible.
Lukin established a fixed budget that allowed him to retire from Amazon and live off his savings and investments. He wrote his own book to inspire others.
I am not a millionaire. I just live like a monk or like a grad student. Managed to squirrel away enough money by the age of 34, just a few $100,000, to basically embark on self-financed universal basic income scheme. And that worked for me.
Now his next goal is to receive his Canadian citizenship and join the Army Reserves while working on passion projects like writing.
Basically, the idea is not to just retire and then sit in a corner and stare at the wall for the next 25 years. It's to have fun and do whatever you want.
In Montreal, Alyssia Rubertucci, City News.